Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. Goodness me. We have a couple of stories to cover, but the really big one is about Kate. But we're also going to discover what just went on with the mail on Sunday. And believe it or not, I know the sugars are watching my channel. I have a question, a serious question for the sugars. So hopefully they'll respond. All right, let's just jump right in and go, shall we? Let's go. For our first story today, I'm just going to remind you guys about Meghan's court case, that she swore she could not hand over messages and WhatsApp messages and text messages and emails because they auto-deleted after 30 days, but come to find out that was a lie. Then she went into court and said she did not help with finding freedom, and come to find out she did help with finding freedom. I think we're all aware of this. And in the end, she won over a technicality about how many words were printed of the letter. Remember what I told you, she won the battle, but they're losing the war. Victory is not vindication, because now everybody knows she's a liar, Harry's a liar, everybody's aware of this, right? And so when I saw this tweet from Angela Levin, I immediately went to look at the article, and sure enough, the judges have given Meghan £1 in damages. What that tells me is that the judges were not particularly happy that she won. They're aware that she perjured herself. They're not stupid people, and they're sending a message to her. Supposedly, there's also a confidential sum in damages for the copyright infringement, but I guarantee you it's nowhere near the number that Meghan wanted. And let's not forget her apology that she wanted in a certain font on the front page, and let's not remember how that ended up. Okay, let's move on. I completely agree with this person on Twitter wrote. The biggest threat to their future has always been themselves, their attitude, their lack of gratitude, and their lying. Yeah, and that's not likely to change. So, yeah. Okay. We're just going to barely touch on this story because this is really kind of an old thing. I mean, they're saying that Harry is so happy he stepped away. He's so fabulous, but yet he will not give up those titles. And we already know why that is. And they did a poll. They're always doing polls. And voters were absolutely divided on whether they should have left the UK or not, given up royal life. But the one thing that everybody agreed on was that when they walked away from royal life, they should have left the royal titles behind. And everybody agrees with that. And the Queen is not going to pull those titles back because she doesn't want to seem petty. But unfortunately, the Queen is not in the best of health. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens when everybody moves up the line. And this story was just a joke. Apparently, Charles gave a statement and said that, his kids, and he included Harry in the statement, were doing well on climate change. And for some reason, people have turned this into, it's an olive branch. They're trying to get him to, stop slamming the family in his book. Charles mentioning Harry one time isn't going to stop what's going on, okay? The crazy train has left the station. All right, let's move on to the big story for today. Well, Kate Middleton is turning 40 soon, and everybody is going, they're looking at her going, how did this girl become so well-rounded? And the family came back and said she's always been an all-around girl. She's always accelerated in sports and music, and, she's always been kind. So I thought it would be nice to look at her past a little bit. They're saying that since she was a small child, she's always been very versatile. She's been competitive. She played netball and lacrosse. They're saying that Kate is the product of her mother. She was raised to do everything to perfection. My father used to say, if you're going to do a job, do it right or don't do it at all. Same thing. She learned to sail, rock climb, skiing, cook, make clothes. She learned the piano. She learned to play tennis at a high level. Yeah, she's a well-rounded person. She got A levels in biology, chemistry, art. She went to study at the British Institute in Florence. She was a crew on the round-the-world boats in Solent before she headed off to St. Andrews University, which is where she met William. She has never been embroiled in any scandals since she joined the royal family. She knew what was expected. She took on her duties. They did the training, same training Meghan got, and she took off like a shot. The Sugars are screaming, oh, she came from a wealthy family. Actually, she didn't. Her parents were regular workers. Her mother was a stewardess for an airline. They decided to take a chance, start a company. The company went well, and they made millions. Isn't that the way of most people? You start a company, you claw your way up. And that's what her family did. They shouldn't be faulted for that. And the Sugars always have to make it look like Kate's nothing and Meghan's everything. They're always pitting the two of them against each other in the way they say things and the way they do things. I don't understand why they're doing it, but that's just what they do. And here is a perfect example. The Sugars plastered this on Twitter and went, oh, look at all the wonderful things Meghan did before she joined the royal family, and Kate did nothing. But, I would have more respect for this if it were actually true. But it's not. And you can't force people's opinions by lying. Here's my example. Here is actually a list of what Kate accomplished before she married Prince William. It's just amazing that the Sussex squad just wants you to believe that she's such an unaccomplished person, whereas Meghan supposedly is just queen of the world. I mean, I don't get it. Kate also helped coordinate the Boodles Boxing Ball to raise money for charity. Also, when she was working, before she married William, she began working with the Starlight Children's Foundation, which helps terminally ill children. She truly is a well-rounded individual. She was raised that way, to travel around, to know things, to do sports, to do cooking. I'm beginning to wonder if there's anything she can't do. And do you guys remember the other day when I showed you the Sussex Squad core values, that, empathy and equality? And then they post stuff like this. We can do whatever. If you write on our timeline, we can do whatever. We're going to go after your kids and your grandkids, and we're going to, do this and that to you. I mean, yeah, this is why I say they're a little unbalanced. But here's my question to any Sussex Squad people who might be listening. What do you guys think about the fact that they named Archie, knowing that that was Prince George's code name for the Secret Service people that they have? And what do you think about her naming the baby Lilibet after the Queen, who's the head of this supposed racist group of people? And what do you guys really think about the fact that they want to return back to celebrate with the entire royal family the Queen's Platinum Jubilee? Are you guys on board with that? I mean, didn't they just barely escape from this horrible racist family? I'm not being smart. I really would like to know your thoughts and opinions on this. All right, I have one housekeeping item for you guys. As you can see, Twitter's stock is plummeting. And there's a reason for that. There's censorship on there. They're permanently banning people for things that they're saying about politics. They're permanently banning people for what they're saying about COVID. You're not allowed to have an opinion. And this crap started not long after Harry and Meghan bought into that ethical banking firm, which happens to have stock in these social media companies. So we're not leaving Twitter, but I'm not leaving Twitter, but I'm also now on another site. And this is what it's called, Getter. This site has exploded. People are leaving Twitter in droves. They're coming over here. And of course, the Sugars are saying it's because of them, but actually it's not. The same exact stuff is going on Getter, but the difference is Getter doesn't cut into your free speech. You're allowed to say what you think. So anyway, I'm on there under Long Sally. Right now, I don't have a profile picture, but I will eventually. And just think about coming over and joining us. Yankee Wally's on there, Taz is on there, all the big people, Pilot Hardy, all the people we follow. So just think about that. So I'm no longer on Gab. It was just too difficult to deal with, but I am on Getter. It's set up a lot like Twitter. All right? So what do you guys think about the Mail on Sunday only having to give Meghan £1 in damages? Personally, I think they were sending a message. And what do you think about how well-rounded and accomplished Kate is? I think it was like God plucked her and put her down for William. She's going to be the perfect queen. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future uploads. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Getter. You can email me. And for those who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.